Should you rent or should you buy? That's one of the questions that you have always in your mind, I'm sure, as you're thinking about getting into the real estate process here. And that's a really good question that we have. We have Yasmin Perez here today.
Hello.
And every single day, of course, so you're welcome for that. My name is Luis Torres. We're both realtors here with OnPath Realty, and we're here just to help you out in the decision-making process as you start your journey to do real estate. What other kind of videos do we do here, Yasmin, for the audience?
Just a mix of everything, whatever comes into mind. If anyone has any questions or wants to know a little bit more about something, let us know and we'll make a video.
Absolutely. I mean, we're in the trenches every single day. We have top producer Yasmin Perez here. She has conversations all the time, and we get these questions all the time. So this is what we're trying to cover so that we can make a video for you to watch at a later time and hopefully guide you and get more confidence as you get into the real estate process. Okay, so hang tight in this video. At the end, we'll give you the contact information for Yasmin Perez and myself so that you can get the ball rolling here in the Chicagoland area. All right, so what do you want to talk about today, Yasmin?
Let's talk about renting versus buying, right?
Oh,
That's
yes.
everyone's kind of like, what should I do? So we'll talk about that.
That's a great idea. Renting versus buying. I mean, that's a question that folks always call us about, right? And even though they've seen properties on Zillow and Realtor.com, they're always thinking about, well, would it be better if I just buy a house or should I just rent? And what are the thoughts and questions that you get so far for that from those folks?
Yeah, I think just the benefits of either side, and if it's the right time. I know a lot of people are sometimes think of buying a house as like a big scary thing, a big commitment, and I honestly think it just depends on the situation, right? If you are a person that maybe is living in different cities or your job has you maybe in different states, maybe it is a better option to rent versus buying if you're not sure where you want to stay. So you're not,
bumping the tables or doing anything else here.
So you're not, owning a home and under a mortgage for a long time. Although you could always sell, of course, and do it again, buy again.
This is it. I mean, I think we should actually talk about the pros and cons of renting first and, help the viewer here kind of get a grasp of, should I really get into renting or not, right? And instead of doing a Google search, just watch and hear from the seasoned agents and tell you about the pros and cons. So let's real quick talk about the pros. What's the good thing about renting a house, Yasmin?
Yeah, the pros, like I mentioned, if you're just not sure where you want to maybe live or what areas, renting is a good option, right? You could do a lease for 12 months and then after that you can move somewhere else.
Yeah, flexibility, right?
Flexibility, correct.
Yes.
It's just easier to end your lease and then say goodbye, right? And then I would say that the other reason is, if you're just maybe not financially ready yet.
Oh, that's a big one too.
Although, I mean, obviously, it's like kind of like a double sword. I don't know how would you say it?
Double-edged sword.
Double-edged sword, because you might not be financially ready yet, but you're also making payments to a landlord that's helping his own mortgage,
Definitely, And I love how you mentioned flexibility. Like if someone is interested in an area, but they're not sure to really put their roots down yet, especially if you're barely starting off with just starting your life, you just got out of school or barely starting a job and you want to find a person and build a family, you want to experiment different areas, that's a great way to do it.
Exactly.
Flexibility.
Yes, I've had a lot of my buyers where they were renting, all over, right? Like Plano, DeKalb, Aurora, Montgomery.
Nomads. They were nomads all over the place.
Just all over. And then now they're like, okay, like we want to live here. We want our kids to go to these schools. We want to be in this area for whatever reason. So that's how they learn from renting.
So we're not trying to say, renting is the way to go. Maybe it's not, right? What are some of the cons that someone might encounter when they're renting a property?
The cons, obviously the home isn't yours, right? You can't paint your kitchen pink if you would want a pink kitchen.
Who doesn't want pink kitchens, right? That's great.
Just as an example. But I know sometimes some landlords do have limitations on what you could do to the home. Some are pretty open, but some they don't want you to do anything to their home because essentially it is their house.
It is theirs still, yes.
Yeah, so I would say that's a
con.
A con, yeah. What else do you think?
I mean, you mentioned the kind of not being able to be flexible or creative in the house. And then number two is that it's not really your property, right? All this time and you're falling in love with this place. You're making it your home. You're putting down some roots, but eventually, like a pot, you're going to eventually have to get out and go somewhere else probably, right? Unless you buy the property, which we're going to get to that in this video as well. But cons.
And then I'll add to that because we've personally have had clients where the home is being sold, and then the tenants are kind of heartbroken and kind of just didn't see it coming. They're not thinking about buying a home. They're still thinking, oh, I'll just be renting here for X amount of time. And then the seller's like, hey, I'm selling the home. You have to be out like in 2 months or less. So
Yes.
I know that kind of sucks when it comes abruptly like that.
Absolutely. That's a real thought there. I mean, in Google, and you search this stuff and they'll say the con is flexibility. But in real life, in real terms, Yasmin has seen it in real life. I've seen it as well, where people are happy that they got a home. And then like 4 or 5 months later, suddenly the landlord decides to sell it. And there's fear involved because there's uncertainty involved. You don't know what kind of landlord is going to buy the property. If they're going to be, always badgering and trying to come over. I'm saying there's rules and tenant rights, of course, but you don't know what can happen, right? So yes, that's a big con.
Yeah,
Big
we've seen that one a few times for sure.
So let's say someone does want to rent a property. What's the process like in a brief, quick little steps?
Yeah, the process with us on the real estate side, because you could always go to, knock on someone's door or look on Facebook
Or
and it says,
sign, right?
yeah, like a sign that says for rent, right? Usually sometimes those are private, but through us, we work through the MLS, which is similar to when you're buying a home. And the process is just, completed an application with us. We want to make sure that we have all your documents. We want to make sure that you're prepared for when we do see a rental, that the landlord likes your profile, basically. Your application, your pay stubs, your bank statements, your previous rental history. So we like to do all that hard work up front before we start looking, just because if we see a rental that you love, then we're kind of working backwards, and then we don't have the documents, and then you risk that someone else is just gonna rent the home.
Exactly. It's so similar to buying a house where you get pre-approved and you have that. And I know you're probably thinking, what's this pre-approval? What's everything, right? And of course, we're in the beginning stages. But it's like going to the mall or the store and you forgot your wallet at home. Are you really going to go to the store and start buying things? The cashier will just look at you and be like, look, you got to go back. But by the time you get back to the store, someone else might have bought that item that you wanted, those pair of shoes, right?
Correct. Yeah, so we want to prepare you the right way. So
Yes.
when we do find the rental, we're ready to go.
Right away.
As soon as we leave the home and you're like, okay, I like this place, I want to see if we can apply. I already have all your documents, your application, and I can send it over to the listing agent and say, hey, this is my applicant. And, show them how strong of an applicant you are.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's kind of wrap things up here, talking about the process and what are the frequently asked questions that people have in the process of getting documents, and what kind of questions are you getting when people are really putting in applications?
I would say for sure the fees. We could not control those. They range anywhere from like $49 to almost $125 I've seen. So it just depends on the other side, the other listing agent, what the landlord wants.
There's no uniform one-time fee
No,
for
there
everybody?
isn't. Correct, no.
So someone might charge 40 and someone else might charge 2 or more?
Yes, and it is, and then they do want an application for anyone over 18. Yeah, so it might be
Everyone.
mom, dad, and then we have 2 kids that are 18, 19. Everyone has to apply. So there is that risk that you might apply for a home and then they pick another applicant. So
Yeah, that very much can happen.
that's
So
just part of
the process.
the process, yes.
Yeah, and I mean, we're agents, we see this all the time, so trust your realtor. That's why it's important to speak with Yasmin or myself, work with the realtor, even in the rental process, because if you don't go with a realtor, you're going out to almost like the Wild West, right? And maybe the landlord is a new landlord who just bought a property, is barely getting into the game, and they don't know what lease agreement to sign. They don't know about the disclosures, radon, lead, flood hazard disclosures, none of that, right? So that's why you need someone that does this all the time, like Yasmin. She's very fluent in this, and even agents here in the office are asking her for her advice. So definitely, you watched the right video, you got the right person here talking to you about it. So Yasmin, now that we're gonna wrap this up here, any advice for folks looking to either rent or buy? What do you say? I mean, you're an agent, but you also see, and I know you're honest with your clients, but what would you recommend them to rent or buy?
I think just whatever makes sense for them. Definitely, if you feel like renting is the way for you, we'll go that route. But after I review everything, sometimes, most of the times I will usually say, hey, you should give buying a try and at least apply to see if you qualify. You might get yourself in a 12-month lease, but maybe at that 12-month mark, you're ready to buy. So I would say try both. For sure.
Yeah.
And even if you don't qualify to buy in the beginning, usually the partners that we work with, they put you kind of like on a game plan to let you know what needs to be done to qualify to buy a house.
100%, yes. So try it out. Of course, there's pros and cons. You will know what's best for you. And obviously consult with your real estate professional so that you guys can go through all the bases. Everything changes. The market changes every single day. So it might be a great time to buy or it might not, right? So definitely. All right. So Yasmin, thank you so much for sharing those nuggets of knowledge with our viewer here.
Thank you, Luis.
How in the world can they reach you here in the Chicagoland area?
You can call me or text me at 331-330-0651. And then we are located here at 808 North Lake Street in Aurora, Illinois.
Absolutely, here in the western suburbs of Chicago. Myself, my name is Luis Miguel Torres here, 630-777-4597. But yeah, just reach out. If you do reach out through this video, of course, you'll get both of us here. And so we'll be, working for you to get that next place. All right. So anything else you want to add to this?
I think that's it. Stay tuned for the next video.
100%, yes. And if you have any suggestions, leave them below in the comments. Don't forget to what? Like
and share.
And subscribe to the channel. All right, take care and thanks for watching this video.
Thank you.
Bye.